The Detroit Lions are heading into the 2025 season with more optimism and excitement than the franchise has seen in decades. After years of being overlooked, doubted, and dismissed, Detroit has finally built a roster that commands respect, a coaching staff that inspires confidence, and a culture that every player in the locker room has completely bought into. But as with any team on the cusp of greatness, there's still work to be done. No matter how good the Lions look on paper, the difference between being a playoff team and being a Super Bowl champion often comes down to the smallest details, the final few pieces that complete the puzzle. One of those pieces could very well be Dante Trader Jr., a hard-hitting, high-IQ safety out of Maryland whose name has been increasingly linked to Detroit as the NFL draft approaches. The more you look at this potential fit, the more it feels like an inevitability rather than a possibility, as if Trader Jr. was meant to be a Lion all along. There's something about Dante Trader Jr.'s game that feels tailor-made for the kind of football Detroit wants to play. It starts with his mentality, the way he attacks every snap with intensity, the way he shows up on every single play. Trader Jr. doesn't just play football. He plays it with an edge, with a chip on his shoulder, with something to prove. That attitude would fit seamlessly into Dan Campbell's locker room, where grit isn't just a word thrown around casually. It's a way of life. Trader Jr. seems like the kind of player who would embrace the grind of a long NFL season, who would relish the physicality of playing in cold-weather games at Ford Field and on the road in places like Green Bay and Chicago. That matters because the Lions aren't just looking for talent. They're looking for players who fit their identity, who can sustain the emotional and physical toll of a championship chase. From a technical standpoint, there's so much to love about Trader Jr.'s game. His range on the back end is impressive. He covers ground effortlessly, reading the quarterback's eyes and breaking on the ball with timing that looks almost instinctual. He's not just fast, he's efficient, taking smart angles that allow him to make plays without wasting motion. That efficiency shows up in his tackling, too. Trader Jr. is a reliable form tackler who brings ball carriers down without unnecessary drama. In a league where missed tackles can turn small mistakes into game-changing plays, having a sure-handed safety like him patrolling the secondary is invaluable. He's also not afraid to mix it up near the line of scrimmage, showing the willingness and the ability to step into the box and deliver hits against the run. That kind of versatility is crucial in today's NFL, where defenses are constantly asked to adapt on the fly to ever-evolving offensive schemes. But what really separates Trader Jr. from many other prospects isn't just what he can do physically. It's the way he sees the game. His football intelligence jumps off the screen when you watch his tape. He processes information quickly, identifying route combinations, recognizing offensive shifts, and communicating adjustments to his teammates. That level of mental acuity would be a huge asset for the Lions, particularly in a defense that thrives on communication and collective awareness. Having a player like Trader Jr. on the back end can not only elevate his own performance, but could also make life easier for the entire secondary. It's not hard to imagine him becoming the kind of player who quarterbacks have to account for on every snap, the kind of player who changes game plans and forces offenses to think twice about testing the middle of the field. Off the field, Trader Jr. checks just as many boxes. At Maryland, he was known as a leader, not necessarily the loudest voice in the room, but the one everyone listened to when he spoke. Coaches rave about his professionalism, his work ethic, his commitment to getting better every single day. He's the type of player who would show up to Allen Park in the middle of February, ready to train like it's week 1. That matters in Detroit, where Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have gone out of their way to build a culture that prioritizes hard work, resilience, and team-first mentality. Dante Trader Jr. isn't just a talented safety, he's a culture fit, and that could make him one of the most impactful picks the Lions could make this year. The timing of adding a player like Trader Jr. could not be more perfect for Detroit. With key veterans entering contract years and the natural attrition that happens to every NFL roster, the Lions need to keep infusing young, hungry talent into their core. Trader Jr. represents exactly the kind of sustainable investment the franchise needs, a player who can contribute immediately while also growing into a long-term building block. Detroit is no longer a team looking for quick fixes. They are looking for players who can help them win now and keep them competitive for years to come. Trader Jr. fits that model to a T, and his impact could be felt not just in 2025 but for the next decade. Another intriguing aspect of Trader Jr.'s potential arrival is how it would affect the Lions' defensive flexibility. With players like Brian Branch already capable of playing multiple roles in the secondary, adding another versatile chess piece like Trader Jr. would allow Aaron Glenn to get even more creative with his coverages and blitz packages. Opposing offenses would have to think twice before making pre-snap reads, unsure of who's dropping back, who's coming forward, and who's disguising their true intentions. It's the kind of tactical advantage that can tilt close games in your favor, exactly the kind of edge that could make the difference in the playoffs when every possession counts. It's also important to consider the emotional lift a player like Trader Jr. could bring to the fan base. Lions fans are some of the most passionate and loyal in all of sports, and they recognize when a player embodies the spirit of Detroit. Drafting Trader Jr. would send a powerful message to the fans that the front office isn't just focused on talent. They're focused on character, on bringing in players who reflect the toughness, resilience, and pride that define the city itself. It would be another brick laid in the foundation of a relationship between team and community that has only grown stronger under this current regime. Looking even further down the road, the idea of Dante Trader Jr. developing alongside some of the Lions' other young defensive stars is downright exciting. Imagine a defense anchored by Aiden Hutchinson in the trenches, Brian Branch roaming the slot, and Trader Jr. commanding the deep secondary. All young, all hungry, all growing together. That kind of nucleus could make Detroit's defense not just good, but dominant for years to come. And when you combine that kind of defensive foundation with a high-powered offense the Lions have already built, you're talking about a team that's not just competing for division titles, but for Lombardi trophies. The window is opening in Detroit, and adding Dante Trader Jr. could be one of the moves that helps kick it wide open. As draft night approaches, the buzz surrounding Dante Trader Jr. and the Detroit Lions will only continue to grow. There's an undeniable logic to the pairing, a sense that both player and team are on parallel paths that were always destined to converge. Trader Jr. brings exactly the skill set, mindset, and upside that Detroit needs as they prepare to take the final step from playoff darlings to true Super Bowl contenders. The Lions have spent years assembling a roster that reflects their blue-collar identity, tough, relentless, and unapologetically physical, and Trader Jr. feels like the next natural piece in that construction. It's a fit that makes too much sense to ignore, and it's easy to envision a future where Dante Trader Jr. becomes a cornerstone of Detroit's defense for years to come, helping to bring the kind of success that generations of Lions fans have been waiting for. In a few short weeks, we'll find out if that vision becomes reality. But for now, the mere possibility of Dante Trader Jr. playing in Detroit is enough to have fans dreaming bigger than ever.